Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we present to you, all the way from Winthrop House, Mr. Jess Burkle.
Thank you, thank you. So much money, so few tents. Thanks for coming out. Seriously, though. The past 4 years have given us wings, taught us so much about the world, about life, about ourselves. The knowledge that we have taken from these hallowed halls will act as a beacon for our generation's progress towards the horizon. We are the future. We are the leaders. But there is a secret pain behind all of this that no one dares discuss. A force that leaves pillows stained with tears and relationships forever shattered. We're all staring it in the face, but pretending like we can't see it. Well, I will not shy away from it. It's true. After 4 years of office hours and sections and response papers, Harvard University has totally destroyed our ability to make small talk. You know what's happened? You're at home with a bunch of friends. One rambunctious pal declares, "Hey, let's go get some tacos at Taco Bell." "Yeah," another says. And as you're in the car laughing at how much food you just ordered, a sentence like this slips out of your mouth. "Hey, did you guys ever notice how the drive-thru window is kind of modeled on Foucault's panopticon?" That's the sound of the train of fun coming to a halt. No one ever thought that. But you did. How embarrassing. You sink into the corner of the car, cursing that one day you actually went to moral reasoning and learned something. You know it's happened to you. Ever been ostracized at a 4th of July picnic because your clever quip about the Missouri Compromise didn't quite fit in with the beach volleyball and igloo coolers? Ever find out that discussing the anthropological politics of National Geographic magazine is in fact not what your 9-year-old cousin wanted to discuss while watching Dora the Explorer? Ever feel so ashamed by your unprovoked usage of the word intrinsic that you wish that your own linguistic perspicacity was just a little lower? If only I were a little less intelligent, like those people at Yale. It's okay. We've all been there. We can talk about it. We're among friends. Why, I remember one of my earliest memories here at Fair Harvard. I was standing in line at Annenberg with a friend of mine. Domna was looking at me with that disarmingly austere scowl of hers, and I was saying to a friend of mine that I had a word stuck in my head. Oh, what word, she said. "Oh, fenestration," I replied. "Oh, what does that mean?" Well, it's when you throw yourself out of a window," I said very matter-of-factly. Suddenly, the boy in front of me let out a scoff and goes, "D." "I'm sorry, what was that, perfect stranger?" "D. It's, defenestration. Cue the boy in front of him. "Oh, you mean when you throw yourself out of a window? Yeah, that's defenestration." It's like that word in Spanish for when you poke your eyes out with red-hot pokers. Drop-jawed and mortified, I ran back to the table in a huff to tell my friends about what had happened. "Guys, you are not going to believe this," I said. "Okay, so I'm standing in line, right, and I'm saying I have a word stuck in my head." And she said, "Oh, what word?" And I say, "Oh, it's fenestration." And she says, "Oh, what does that mean?" And I say, "Oh, it's when you throw yourself out of a window." And D, isn't it D? "Yeah, I think it's D, yeah, D." One says, "What? I'm sorry?" I'm trying to pretend like that didn't happen. It's, Jess, it's D meaning from and fenestra meaning window." That's what I'm talking about. This crippling virus of knowledge has since infected us all. I know that each and every one of you corrected me in your mind as I was saying this speech. Don't try and pretend like you didn't. Well, I've got news, friends. There is a place called the real world where not everyone has read 100 Years of Solitude in Spanish or in English. where people think Seamus Heaney is a regular co-star on Will and Grace, where the phrase post-structural refers to the structural quality of actual posts. No, it's not going to be easy descending from our ivory tower. Sure, we've tried to prepare ourselves, watching seasons 1 through 4 of Family Guy on DVD instead of doing a problem set, picking up Us Weekly instead of Scientific America every once in a while, peppering conversations with meaningless references to Everybody Loves Raymond. But like eating the food at the Kong, it only feels good until that sickening feeling sets in your stomach. So, must we continually force-feed ourselves the crab rangoon of the masses in order to not be those condescending Harvard alums that we encounter on a daily basis? No. I've been wrestling with this problem for a while, and I think I've come up with a pretty good plan. 3-point plan, so hear me out. Point 1, stop using abbreviations because no one understands what they mean. You'll find that the following speech makes no sense to anyone outside of Harvard. So my black mate and I decided to go up to the quad because Foho's Hoko was having an all-you-can-eat Baloco brain break, and so we take the shuttle up to Comstock and we swipe in and we eat a bajillion Bangkoks, and suddenly my roommate starts feeling sick, so she goes over to Courier to swipe in the TLR so that she can lie down with the BGL TSA as they're hosting a pre-frosh event thing, and she's getting real sick, and she's like, dude, I think it was the Froyo, not the Baloco. She's like, call HUPD. I'm like, don't you hate HUS? So I call HUPD and they run over to UHS so that they can do a CBC and an EKG, but her HMO won't let her. So they put her on an IV and Stillman, and the next day I have to tell her QR32 TF why she's MIA, and he's like, what are the odds of that? Don't let a story like that happen to you. P.S. This tent only provides the illusion of dryness. All right, point 2. If at all possible, in conversations, stray from using foreign languages. Helpful hints. You'll find that the word genre is an English word too, and does not need to use an overemphasized French accent. It is socially acceptable to pronounce it burrito without rolling the R, and stressing out about the pronunciation of feng shui kills any clever remark you might have been formulating in your mind. Also, eliminate any email signatures with quotes in foreign languages, because really, what's the point? I mean, trust me, that Cherish Camus line of yours will be just as esoteric and inaccessible in English. Also, when referencing culture, you might want to stray away from foreign films. The closest thing you should ever reference is Bigelow, European Gigolo, or Fast and the Furious 3, Tokyo Drift. Speed needs no translation. Most importantly, point 3, just let it go. It's more powerful to lead by example than correction. Find pleasurable ways of tolerating the slip-ups of others without belittling them and making yourself look like a douchebag. Someone thinks that Bosnia is in South America? How imaginative. Pronouncing it nuclear? What a charming dialectical idiosyncrasy. Ending sentences with prepositions? That's where I'm at. You see, we don't have to fear the transition to the real world. It's simple. Now, am I saying we should lower ourselves? No. I'm saying that you can't lead a world that can't relate to you. That relating on a human level is more important than name-dropping on an intellectual one. That we should strive to always be humans first and Havardians second. So don't abandon your semicolons, your string theories, and your microeconomics. Guard them forever. Cherish this time we've had together in this bizarre and at times frighteningly intellectual microcosm of free discourse. And wait, because decades from now, we'll all be back here. Well, actually, we'll probably be in Alston, but it's okay. Yes, we'll all be back here, sipping champagne in the banquet room at the Lawrence Summers Center for Gender Research. It's gonna be sweet. And we'll all be able to once again talk freely, without fear, about our good friend, Max Weber. Thank you, everyone. Happy graduation, '06.